Okay, so I'm just going to run through the practice plan real quick to kind of give everyone sort of a basis to understand. So it looks like we have, I'm going to write these out real quick. We have dynamic passing, it's partner passing, and then we have catching throw, partner passing, sticks. What the heck? This doesn't make sense. I'm on the wrong day. Okay, partner passing, shotgun shooting, crash test dummies, sharks and minnows, slide recovery again, the Y drill, and then full field scrimmage. I'm not going to worry about those as much, but okay. So, partner passing, shotgun shooting, crash test dummies, sharks and minnows. Okay, so dynamic passing, shotguns. Shotguns, crash test, sharks and minnows. Crashes, sharks. What else we got? Y drill. Okay, so those are the drills basically, and I'm gonna go through each one just a little bit briefly. So, dynamic partner passing. So basically, the kids are just going to be lined up in groups of 2, and it kind of makes it real simple to be able to do this drill. The thing that I want to get them working on is stepping one step toward the ball, making the pass, and the other player can either run backwards and pass it, or catch the ball, roll away from pressure, and make a good pass back. Right, so I want that step toward or step away, get that motion in there so that the players are not just standing there with their feet kind of in that direction, just facing each other. I want to get that relative motion in there so that players are starting to understand that they have to move their feet to catch and pass the ball. We're going to slowly build up to that over the course of the year. But right, the first week they were just totally statically standing still. The second week we added that roll away, throw back real quick, so he should be catching. Then he should be rolling away, throwing back, and calling for that ball. And then right from there, we can go into our 2-man express drill. So right from here, now this pair, they can just start taking off, running around the field, and they're going to be passing to each other, catching the ball, one quick cradle, sprinting, passing, trying to lead them, catching the ball, one quick cradle, sprinting, passing, trying to lead them up the field with this kind of zigzag pattern, and they can do it all the way around. And when they get back to their spots, they just switch so that the person that was going left is now going right. The person that's going right is now going left. So they get used to both their hands. I don't care so much at 3-4 whether or not they can use both their hands every time. But we want them kind of introductory and challenge themselves a little bit. So they can stay dominant hand for most of the game, most of the time. And we're going to work on those dominant sides. But I just want to introduce them to the left hand so they're not ignoring it off the bat. Okay, so that's shotgun shooting. Dynamic passing, and then that 2-man express drill that I just kind of touched on that real quickly. That we can do quick warm-ups. We should be able to get through that within 10 minutes. The next drill, shotgun shooting. It's the reason why it's called shotguns because typically we have double-barreled shotguns. I know. I'm so funny. Right, 2-barrel shotguns, and they do a split dodge down the alley, shot on goal. Split dodge down the alley, shot on goal. This side they're going all right-handed. This side they're going all left-handed. Sticks to the outside. So that's not supposed to be an arrow. It's actually supposed to be like a little lacrosse stick, right? So this is a right-handed shot down this alley. This is a left-handed shot down this alley. I just want them practicing both ways, right? They can do a split dodge. They can practice their face dodge, but really there's just a bucket of balls right here, and I just want like 100 shots, kids picking up their balls and shooting on goal. As we get more advanced, we'll have this player pass over and then initiate the dodge. The next player has a ball, he passes over here, initiate the dodge, right? So then they're kind of balancing themselves, so they're not shooting at the same time. But for the first part, I want a little bit of chaos. I want these kids okay with dodging, cutting through, shooting at the same time. And then we'll do the same thing from X. So that's our midfield dodging up down the alleys. And when we start adding in some of these other elements, so then when they're from X, they just have a line back here, right? And then this player, if he's right-handed, he's going to go right. And if, say, he splits dodge and is able to go right, he wants to finish by cutting across the crease with a good shot far pipe. If he's right-handed and he goes the other way, if he's right-handed and he comes up, he should be dodging with his stick in his left hand. But if he's a right-handed player, he needs to get up high, inside roll back, switch hands. So now his stick is to the outside. So now it's in his right hand, and this is a right-handed shot on goal. So if he wants to finish with the right-handed shot, he's going to practice that inside roll coming back toward the goal with a shot on goal. The other thing that you can do to get to here, and we have what's called a question mark dodge. We haven't talked about that yet, but basically it looks like a question mark, right? So if he's coming up the right-handed side, it looks just like a question mark. So he should be finishing with that right-handed shot on goal as he comes up. Let me draw that a little bit better. We haven't gotten this yet. It's kind of advanced. I'm not going to teach it to the kids, but for Bernie's sake or some other player, when they get to here, they want to take a rocker step back, just one step back, get the defender kind of going in that direction, and then they explode off that back foot. That's the question mark, right? And then the rest of it looks like this. So they're coming back toward the goal. As they get to here, they're switching their sticks in their left hand. They're switching to their right hand, and then they're definitely in their right hand for a shot on goal. So that's another way to do it. It's called a question mark dodge. But they want to get here because they have a better angle on the goal. When they do the inside roll, which we're teaching them right now, they have to kind of come back and get a good shot with a low-angled shot. But anyway, so that's our shotguns from up top, from X. The attackman would be practicing this pregame, while in high school, the middies would be up here because we're positional based. All the attackmen would be back here. They're just going left and right. And then these guys at the same time are going down, dodging down the alleys for the shot on goal. I should probably cover that real quick. If you've ever been on a football field, you have those hash lines. We call them the racetracks. This is the alley. This is the alley. This is the right-hand alley. This is the left-handed alley, right? So here you're dodging down the alley, looking for that shot on goal. Once you get to a spot where you can't get a shot, we want to feed that ball through X to get it to the other side midi so he can dodge down the alley. But that's why we practice the shotgun shooting. It's just really for them to get high reps, shooting the ball, getting confident, getting close to the goal, getting a shot off. Especially these guys coming around here. If they're right-handed and they're coming around here, they should do a pump fake, another pump fake. And they get about here, they need to get that shot off because if they get to here, they're probably going to get hit by a defender in a game. But anyways, it's all good. So that's that shotgun shooting. So crash test dummies. This is just another line drill, essentially. So all the kids, probably groups of no more than 2 or 3, right? And I drew this really bad. I'm sorry. Let's just do it this way. So this guy's going to start with the ball, and they're each going to start with the ball at the same time. So he's got it in his right hand. Actually, we're going to do it the same way. We're going to split left to right. So they're all going to start with the sticks in their left hand, right? And these guys are going to do the same thing. So just focus down here on this group at the lower side, but these guys up here are doing the same exact thing. And they're going to sprint, cradling, protecting their stick, sprint, cradling. And when they get to a point where we're about to hit each other, this is why we call it crash test, they need to split dodge, so they don't hit each other, right? So they're running right at each other, and they got to time their split dodge so that they don't hit each other and they get around. And as soon as they get past that dodge, we want them looking, so the guy that's next in line needs to have his stick up, calling for the ball. As soon as they get past that dodge, they should be looking to pass the ball to the next guy in line. So he's like, I'm calling for the ball. And we get that ball to the next guy in line. And then they're just doing the same thing, sprinting in, timing it so they don't run into each other. If they time it wrong and they go the wrong way, they're going to hit each other. But this is their chance to kind of start experimenting with that space, time and space. But that's why we call it the crash test dummies, because if they screw it up, they're dummies. I'm so bad. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, so then sharks and minnows, it's pretty plain and simple. All the players are lined up. You have coaches in here. Players have to run to one line to get to the other side of the field. Coaches are poking their sticks. If they drop the ball, they become a shark, right? There's other versions of this, Sprouts. I don't know. We played tons of versions of that. But basically, the last person, he gets the award for getting across and getting through all the sharks. This is important because what this drill really does, and why I'm going to tie it in, so it's teaching individual defense, right? So the whole point of this drill is to chaotically teach individual defense for that player without the ball, and also cradling, stick protection, and a little bit of dodging in chaos, dodging for the offensive player, right? So kind of what that looks like. Let's just kind of go through. Say we have 4 sharks or 4 minnows and 2 sharks, right? So these guys all have balls in their stick, and when the coach blows a whistle, they've got to make it to the other side of the field, the other side of the field, and they have to protect their stick. So this guy is trying to prevent them from getting here, right? And these guys are trying to get there. So this is where Sharks and Minnows plays into that Y drill a little bit, because what these guys got to do is they got to play good defense, force them upfield, and try to get a turnover by getting their little pokes, lifts, and slap checks to get the ball on the ground and scoop it up, right? And once they get the ground ball, that's it. They become a shark. And eventually you'll have one guy and like a ton of sharks. He's got to practice that individual offense, dodging to get across, get through a bunch of guys. You have a bunch of guys coming at him. He's got to get through there and get to the other side, get to this. And these guys are kind of protecting this other side of the field, right? So how that relates to the Y drill, and this is kind of like what I want to try to do this tomorrow is, so that was Sharks and Minnows, and use that to reemphasize a lot of the concepts that we're going to go over for this. But we're in this Y drill, right? We have that area. Let me draw that in red just because it's going to be easier. So we have that area in front of the crease. We call that the paint. We can call it whatever we want. In high school, we call it the heart. In college, we call it the paint. I don't really care. But it's the area of the field that the defense wants to protect. So the defenders are always going to start with one foot on the paint, right? And they have to. So say this guy's going, and let's just do one at a time to make it clear. So this guy's got the ball, and we have a defender that's got his hips and feet pointed toward him. In high school, and I don't want to build this now. I wish I could. I just don't think they'll get it. In high school, we actually play really poor individual defense because we give them all this field to go down the alley. We want them dodging down that alley because the farther they get down here, the less of an angle they have to get a shot off on goal, right? So up here, right now, he's got all this angle to shoot on goal. The farther he gets down here, he's got to get that ball in there. He's got much smaller of an angle to get that ball inside the goal. Up here, he's got this huge angle to shoot from, right? And like the whole field. But the farther down he gets, the harder it is for him to get that shot off, right? And so we'll have the on ball. What's going on? So we have the hot guy, and we have the on-ball defender, which is this guy. He's got to get out and play his man while this guy starts his dodge, and he's going to try to keep pushing him down this alley. We call it pushing him down the alley. If he gets in front and this guy gets behind, that's where we're sliding, right? The one thing that this guy wants to make sure he never does, he never wants to get beat topside and allow his defender or offensive player to come back across the crease that way. That's super dangerous, and it's easy for them to get shots off for a midfielder. So we want them to go to X, because if they drop the ball back here, they're farther down, we have more room to work, and we know where our slide's going to come from, right? So then after this slide happens, this guy recovers to the crease. In high school, there's going to be an offensive player here. The defender is on the backside. His guy's out here. He's going to be pinched in helping while this guy comes in, slaps his stick, and then this guy can bump back out and play that man. Or the thing that we like to do offensively is float across the top of the crease. This defender comes in here and he bumps his guy, the recovering guy, out to play that man, and he'll stay covering the crease. It all depends on who the lineup is. But right now, what I really want to focus on is this individual defense and sort of this adjacent slide kind of thing. So let me go back. Let me just delete this. So typically we'll have a defender here and a defender here, right? As this guy goes down, this guy's kind of playing defense. This guy can step in and then come out to play defense. And then this guy can recover to the crease and figure out, we always want him to come back here because this guy would typically be going this way, and we have another offensive player coming in from the backside. That's why we have him come into the crease to try to find, this is the big threat, right? We want that, this guy can't score from back here, but if we get the pass to him, this guy can then cut down and cover him, right? So I'm not explaining this really well. I got to figure out a better way to explain this. I can explain it to high schoolers. I can't explain it to to little guys, but it's I want them to start understanding this slide, get back into the paint, defend this area, and find the open player. Right now, I remember in the last game we had guys out here looking for the open player, and everyone's kind of cutting in, right? And he's like, "Oh, I need to get in here," but he's already too late. So we want to just make sure that we're focusing on getting out to your man, playing your man, dodging him down the alley, chasing him down. We'll do one-on-ones, and that'll become a little more clear. And then if he gets beat, we get the slide come. He's going to recover to the crease, and then find the open player. Offensively, this is going to get a little advanced. I just want to cover this. We always have this principle called vacate fill, right? And what that really means is we're working in triangles and pairs offensively. There's no trick to this, right? So let me just draw it like this. This is a midfielder. This is a midfielder. This is a midfielder, right? Vacate fill means if I have the ball and I dodge down this alley, this guy is in the way because he wants to get down here and score. But if he stays here, his defender's got a really short way to go to get that. So he needs to be backing out of the crease, opposite and away, curling up. That's called vacating. While this guy is filling across the top side, because when the slide comes, if we can't get that feed off here, which is where we want it to go, the offensive player with the ball knows that he can roll back, and he knows exactly where his help is going to come. Throw back with one more pass to the backside for a shot on goal. We call that vacate fill. We always want to do that. So players are never wrong if they're just cutting across the crease. And then the other principle is this. We've dodged down this alley. That's a dodge. With a pass and a pass to the backside. That's pass. Pass. And then this, we're going to say dodge again, but really that's just attack the goal with everything you got, right? So theoretically what that means is whether we have 3 players on the field, 10 players on the field, it doesn't matter. We've initiated an offensive opportunity with this first dodge, right? So the defense goes, oh crap, I have an on-ball guy, I have an off-ball guy, this guy's going to be pinching in, right? And so this guy slides, this guy's already here. We've just pulled the defense to this area, and this guy's sneaking out the back. That's the vacate fill. What did we do? We just drew all the defense to this spot, and this is what we call a zone offense in high school. And then now we want to quickly rotate this ball to the back side. If I drew this field right in half, this would be the weak side. This would be the strong side. We want to get those 2 passes, and now it looks like chicken scratch. We want to get those 2 passes to the other side of the field where the player's coming. So this is just a little triangle rotation. And when we run into trouble, we know where help is. And then we get a good shot on goal, right? So that's how we do it. We initiate a dodge, looking to score. If nothing's there, we can feed go through that one more time. Okay, this guy's got the ball. He's dodging down this alley. This guy's vacating by backing out of the crease, still being a threat, looking to receive the pass. This guy's filling on the backside. right? As he's dodging, he's looking for scoring. He's looking to score a goal. But if that's not there, he's looking inside to get this pass off for a shot on goal. And if that's not there, he's looking through. There'd have to be an attackman. We're not going to cover that right now. But if the slide comes, he's looking to feed this guy because that's where the slide came from. And if he can't, he's rolling back, throwing back for quick passes for a shot on goal. Right, this guy's going to be wide open, and we just want to get the ball to him. So that's where we call finding space offensively, and that's why that little 3-man drill that we do, where the players come in from behind an X. I have the two guys. We have the lines of two guys. We have two guys coming in. Coach rolls out a ground ball. These guys scoop through it. This guy wants to get top side so we can get that quick pass off, and then. When we have and ideally cut through, one more pass, shot on goal. So whoever got the ground ball is going to be shooting it. Or when we do 3 players, fundamentally the same thing. We have 3 players on the crease. Coach rolls out a ground ball. The closest 2 guys, remember this guy's getting the top side, getting high, mirroring. This guy's getting the ground ball. This guy's going to be C-cutting. We pass over, we pass through. This is a left-handed shot on goal. So there's 2 quick passes. Again, what we're reinforcing is when we get the ground ball off the ground, we want to look to pass it right away because that's an opportunity. We usually have 1 or 2 men around us. We want to pass right away. So anyways, that's a lot of advanced stuff. I'm so sorry. Okay, enjoy. Bye.